Hello and welcome to another pack update for my texture pack for Minecraft Java Edition. I'm here in the Spear update. My name's Mickey Joe and the texture pack is called Barely Default. I have a lot of changes for you guys and I think they're pretty significant. Like the first one, you'll see right away, is a change to lanterns, which I think is pretty significant, right? I mean, lanterns, you see them everywhere. Pretty iconic, but I thought they were pretty simple. Could I do something more interesting? I think so. So I've done it for lanterns of all types. I think this is a good design for a lantern. It's kind of asymmetrical in that way, right? It has this cool 3D rim as well, kind of like a little hat. It is iconic, I think. It is quirky and unique, and the new barely default lantern, and yeah, this is it when it's hanging off a chain. The chains are 3D as well, and kind of in the theme of lanterns, in my opinion. I've also changed flower pots. It's a tiny little change, the basic upgrade that you could imagine for them, right? Give them a little rim, like pots have a little rim, so maybe flower pots should have a little rim as well. There's a custom dirt texture on the inside, and yeah, other than that, enjoy your plants. I have also included a bit more of a tilt for some plants, like mushrooms, in flower pots. You see that, how they're like slightly more tilted, having the pot be like exactly straight up, but having the mushroom slightly tilted just makes it look more natural. So some changes to flower pots, just a bit more up to date, you know. And on the topic of flower pots, I've also changed azalea bushes in flower pots, and it's really subtle, but I basically made the little petals on them, the flower petals, 3D. So the little pink flowers on them, like a skin layer, they kind of stick out, and it's really subtle, but you can hopefully see it, right? There is some depth to it, which I think is a nice barely default-ish change. Then over here, you might have already seen it, I have a new cactus flower model, very exciting, something I'm able to do because of the new model system. So the new model system allows me to rotate elements on multiple axes. I can do a lot more natural looking stuff. And the first item I thought I'd try is the cactus flower, right? I've turned into this, I don't know, it looks like a pretty lily. I wish we could put cactus flowers on lily pads, but we can't. But either way, I think this will look nice. It looks really natural in my opinion. Works with my cactus, which have a chance to have extra arms, as you can see. That was already a feature, but you know, in case you hadn't seen it, there you go. And there's also some slight color variations. There's actually 3 colors. There's a darker one here, and then there's a lighter pink one here, and then there's a more beige one here. So this is the default color, right? The more beige one. And then both the lighter and the darker ones based on the pink dye items. Obviously these flowers craft into pink dye, right? Cactus flower crafts into pink dye. And the pink dye item has a very rich palette. It goes from very light to very dark. So I thought I could use that. And then I make my variants super subtle. Hardly tell the difference. But that's also how I like it. Because it is the same plant, still gives the same dye. And that's that for the cactus flowers. Then I have a few simple item changes for you. First off, the Eye of Ender has a really subtle animation to it. It's a bit of a reworked texture. So it's a bit different from default. I thought in default, I don't know, it looks really blurry. I don't know, it's kind of odd. And the animation might be hard to tell because it is really subtle, but if you can spot it, we'll just try to have a look at it. And you can basically see that the green swirl that's in the eye just kind of rotates around it as if it's like a loose, I don't know, like a substance inside of the eye. And a lot of people would like make the eye blink. I don't know why, but I don't like that for some reason. I don't like the Eye of Ender blinking. It doesn't make sense to me. There is no eyelids when I imagine the item, right? I just imagine it as like a big glass eye and there's just like a pupil floating in it and maybe some, well, greenish liquid or whatever it is, some dust or whatever. I don't imagine an eyelid, okay, if I imagine this item. So I didn't want to do a blinking animation. Instead, I did this subtle glowing fade, and I think it's nice. You know, I think it's a nice texture as well. So a bit of a reworked texture, and then having it always change, it works for Eyes of Ender in my opinion. A new texture for emeralds as well. So this is my pixel art contribution to the emerald texture. I don't know if it's the best. I'll probably keep on tweaking this till I like it because crystals are like, I don't know, probably the hardest material to texture. And for me, emeralds were no different. I really wanted to keep the vanilla shape, but try to make the shading a bit more realistic. It might be a bit too perfect, like too round maybe. I don't know. I'll probably play around with it, but new emerald texture either way. And then also for copper statues, I've added the texture when they're waxed, and this is only for the item texture. Okay, so if you put them in shells like this, or you hold it in your hand, you can see it. So it makes it easier for you to tell if an item is waxed. I've done that for a lot of waxed items, right? But as with the other waxed items, of course, if you place it, there is no liquid on it. Okay, so it's just an indicator on the item, so you know that you are about to place a waxed statue instead of a normal one, which I don't know, that's just nice. Let's look at some new renames. All right, and I have them all set up here. Some new plateable options. So if you didn't know, all food in my pack can be renamed to plate. Turns it into a 3D model, which then looks really nice in an item frame. Okay, so this is just a default apple and I rename it to plate, and it starts to look like this, and then I put it in an item frame and badam. You know, really good for roleplay and survival friendly. Just costs you 1 anvil level, right? And you can even rename an entire stack, all right? And you can also do red plate, which doesn't look great on apples. So how about we do a green plate? Sure. So you can also do color plate. Now there is a new option for all food types, and it is renaming them to Jeb, which puts them on a rainbow colored plate, which is more, I don't know, like a Easter egg. It's more consistent, right? Being able to rename stuff to Jeb and then it turns rainbow colored. You can also just take a regular old item frame item and you rename that to plate, and it will also become a plate. So you can put empty plates on a table too, right? If you just rename an item frame to set plate and then you put an item frame in an item frame. You can also rename an item frame to Jeb, which turns it into a rainbow plate, which you can then hang on the wall, or a set gem or royal gem for golden cutlery. So you can decorate with rainbow plates, basically. So you can kind of make a rainbow wall. I mean, I don't know if this is, it's kind of strange. It's more of an Easter egg, something I felt like I had to do because I like renaming stuff to gem. I have a whole video on renaming stuff to gem. You can rename a lot of stuff to gem, like a netherite spear, and then you just have a rainbow spear, which is pretty sweet. Feels like consistent, like dotting the i's. And now I guess you can make a set table with rainbow plates. So that will be pretty good for maybe a gay birthday or Jeb's birthday. Some kind of, I don't know, have fun with this. You can rename all the foods to Jeb. And another thing that you can rename to Jeb is bundles. Because why not? It works for all the bundle colors, okay? And the string remains the same as the original bundle color. So that's pretty interesting. I don't know if it's too useful, you know, if you have an inventory full of Jeb bundles. How clear is it which one is which color? I don't really know. But you can choose the string color of your Jeb bundle rename by having a different colored bundle. So that's that. A rename for flint and steel. This one's pretty simple. You just rename it to a lighter and it becomes this pretty little iron 3D lighter. And then if you right click with it, as you can see, the button will be pressed down. So that's keep my independent models. You can barely see it if you actually light something on fire because it does the punching animation. But it is there. You know, right click and you do the little But I also added renames for all the colors. So white lighter, light gray lighter, black lighter. I mean, you get it. All the lighters, you can get them. They all work with a little 3D button that gets pushed. Whatever, you get it. A new rename for Trident. And it's Asgore's Trident. And I don't really understand Undertale lore that much from browsing the wiki. But I figured, fine, I'll add it. Asgore's Trident. This is it. It's a pretty big trident and it is completely untextured. Let me know what you think about that, Undertale fans. Is that a good representation of a weapon from the Undertale universe? Or maybe I could just shade it, you know, keep it the same color red, but just add shading to it. Would that be better? I don't really know. I feel like this is like a non-material magic, maybe even. And also this simple style, right, where it's just about the shape of the weapon rather than the texture, really matches like Deltarune weapons that I've added, like a black knife. And it might just fit those to have Asgore's Trident look like this. But on the other hand, I've also added the real knife from Undertale, which is based on a Steam sticker, which had a lot more detail. A completely different art style than the game, the Steam sticker. So that's why, you know, I guess I added more details to this one, and the other ones are more simple. And now Asgore's Trident is also pretty simple. So let me know what you think about that. One cool thing I did do, when you throw it, you know, it's pretty normal. You just looks just like this, like you'd expect. But in third person, it actually switches colors, which is pretty accurate to Asgore's lore the way I understand it. And it could also kind of be like, I don't know, distracting for PvP, right? Your opponent's like, what's happening? And this only shows up in a third person view, just so it doesn't get annoying. In Undertale, he can have two types of attacks, either the blue one or the orange one. And I thought, you know, if you see someone walking with a trident, you don't know if he has Riptide or if he's gonna throw it. You don't know about his enchants. It kind of works, right? Having it flicker, kind of like, ooh, what attack's it gonna be? And then it's always the same one because it's gonna be the same enchantment anyways. But yeah, that's a feature I did for Asgore's Trident. I have a new rename for iron ingots, copper ingots, gold ingots, netherite ingots, and resin bricks. I've added custom torches to the pack. If you didn't know, I have a whole video about all the different torch designs that I have. These are a new sconce design that you can get. Look, it's just an iron ingot, see? And if you rename it exactly to sconce, like that, its model will change just like the other renames. And then if you put it in an item frame, it just wraps perfectly around the torch. So it's a new decorative thing you can do. They cost 1 ingot each and an anvil level, I guess, right? And of course, the copper ingot sconce has some secret renames as well. You can rename them to exposed sconce, weathered sconce, or oxidized sconce, and they'll change their oxidation state, basically. Just for the customizability, alright, if you need more sconce colors. These are available too. Then some renames for shields. If you didn't know, the Barely Lethal data pack adds shields for all tiers. But if you're not using the Barely Lethal data pack, you just have a normal vanilla shield, like this one, you can still rename it to the new shield rename. It is the Johan shield, which is a shield that appears in Minecraft Dungeons. It appears a lot. Like this shield is all over Minecraft Dungeons. You know, they just use it for decoration. And it doesn't really formally have a name, but the file for it is called Johan Shield. So if it ever had a canon name, that's the closest it gets to it. So yeah, a default shield without the data pack renamed to Johan Shield will look like this, with a netherite rim, which will probably look good with endgame players. That's kind of what you want to look like, since you won't have tiered shields. But if you do have tiered shields, here's the wooden shield, renamed Johan Shield, copper shield, golden shield, iron shield, the diamond shield, of course, and then the netherite shield. Thought I'd do a little bit of a vlog at the end of the video, because why not? It's been a while that I've just done a vlog and just talked about stuff. So here we are. That is supposedly always been my channel, and it will always be. I just like to focus on Minecraft stuff, I guess, you know. And also it's hard to just put on the camera sometimes, right, and just start talking for a while. But I can do it very well, and I will do it right now. I'll tell you about the holidays, I guess. I've been busy with holiday stuff, but also busy with secret projects, you know, very exciting stuff for the Barely Lethal data pack as well. So yeah, we're cooking. CYKLOPPS and I are cooking big time. But you know, when we're cooking big stuff that takes a while to finish, It also means that I have nothing to show off. But yeah, also been busy with the real life holidays, which has been a blessing. I've been seeing my own family and also in-laws, so that's been great. And it's the end of the year, so a little bit of a vlog makes sense too, no? Doesn't it? I hope you also had a good holidays, right? If you're spending it with family. If your aunt sent you an AI generated Christmas card, which is a new thing that people are up in arms about this year, which I think is pretty interesting, because before the boomers were generating AI stuff, they sent terrible Facebook memes. So for me, the AI generated Christmas cards and stuff, that's an upgrade. I mean, it's not like we were the pinnacle of a classy society before that, with grandma sending screenshotted Facebook posts, right? That might as well be AI generated. So them generating custom stuff for you over the holidays, try not to get too mad over it, right? I think it's cute. They're putting in effort. And remember, the boomers will die off, all right? There won't be a problem. So just love your boomers, all right? That's my holiday message, I guess. And that's what I did too. And we had to drive a lot, right? Because, I don't know, my family lives really far away. And I drove as well. My girlfriend wasn't feeling so good. And I, if you didn't know, have had a car accident, like, I don't know, almost like 2 years ago, where I was driving 120 kilometers, which is legal, it's allowed speed limit, but it was raining and it was about to freeze. And actually, it was about to snow, but the snow only started after I had crashed. But I guess the road freezes over before the physical snow starts falling down. Like if I had seen the snow, right, I might have taken it as a signal. But I had just gotten my driver's license, just gotten a new car, and yeah, I mean, obviously, like, I started slipping and it flipped upside down. I got knocked out for a couple of seconds, and then I was fine. Miraculously, I crashed into a ditch. My car flipped after that, landed on its side, and I just crawled out feeling like an idiot, right? And then some cars stopped, and I was just completely on adrenaline. So I was like making jokes, cracking jokes. No, it sucked. It was terrible. But yeah, so I've had that car crash. So driving is kind of scary to me, especially on the highway. So I don't take the highways, especially when it's like winterish, right? Like right now, and especially when it's dark, because those are the exact conditions of my crash on the highway too. So we take the low way, not the highway, but the low way. Does that make sense? We don't drive the quickest route. Obviously, it takes a long time if I drive. My girlfriend wasn't feeling good, so I had to drive. And yeah, we drove for a long time. We had cars behind us, because even going 100, because there's roads that aren't highways that you're still allowed to drive 100 on. I'm not doing it. If I don't know the way and it's dark and I'm scared, which I am, all right, that's just like straight facts, all right. I'm getting over it because I'm doing it, but I won't go 100 if I'm driving in the complete darkness and I can't even see the road ahead of me. Like I can't even see 50 meters, 20 meters in front of me because there's no lights anywhere. And all the people behind me, they're familiar with the area. They know the bends coming up, but I don't. And I'm not gonna drive 100 kilometers. It's so fast. It never stops amazing me how fast driving cars and how everyone just does it. And I do it too. And I'm looking at all the people on the left of me, like gaining on me, right? They're going even faster than I am. And I'm going 80. And I'm going like, holy shit, this is like 10 times faster than walking. It's so fast to me. Already 80. So that's what I've been doing, right? Driving 80 on the road during Christmas for like 6-8 hours, something like that, to see my family. But it's been fun. All right. I mean, I don't know, people honking at me, but I'm not doing it. I'm sorry. I'm that guy. All right. If you've ever run into the guy during Christmas who's driving 80 where you're allowed to drive 100, it's me. And I was sober and I'm fine, but I'm just scared and unfamiliar with the road. And I'm not driving 100 kilometers an hour into the fucking darkness. It is insane to me how normal it is in society to just drive a metal box of death on wheels. Just like, have fun, good luck. They should have just had train tracks everywhere, or like magnetic cars. No, I'm grateful for the freedom to drive, and I enjoy driving, just not faster than 80. So yeah, I mean, I don't know, is that my Christmas story? I guess it is, but it's also the end of the year, so I guess I can cover some stuff that I'm grateful for. And I mean, it's a lot. A great, gratitude is a great attitude. Maybe the number one best thing that you can try to be for. Grateful. Be grateful for stuff, all right? Practicing gratitude, you can do it very actionably. Even me in a video, counting off the things I'm grateful for, it counts. And maybe you can do it too, all right? Make a list of things that you're grateful for. It'll make your end of the year maybe a little bit better. It does for me, keeping track of stuff I'm grateful for. And yeah, I mean, obviously, it's you guys. The YouTube has grown a lot. The channel has grown a lot. I mean, it is very slow growth, but it is growth. And every week, at least once, I think, I'm so glad that I'm at least doing videos. Like you know, it's been 4 years now of making content, like basically weekly. And I imagine a universe where 4 years have passed and I didn't make a video. You know, I didn't try to put myself out there, and a lot of videos were shit and awkward, and I've made those members only now. So you can be a member of my channel, right? And you'd expect like exclusive high quality content. No, it's not. The content that you could pay for, like if you want to support me monthly by a membership, it is the worst content. It is all this shit that I hate that I've made, and I've just made members only. I don't know, thought to throw it out, spend a lot of time on it, but it's also more vulnerable, right? Like the shitty stuff you make. So a little bit of a members only update, I guess. It's only the shitty content that is left up there. But yeah, at least I made it. At least I did all the shitty content, and now I'm making, I don't know, I think my content's alright. It's pretty timeless, right? Texture pack updates are, you know, should be interesting. Data pack updates. I mean, I'm doing interesting stuff. I really like the videos I'm doing. So another thing I'm grateful for. But yeah, I mean, the growth, it's been slowly but steady. But imagine if you hadn't done it, sort of thing, alright? And maybe that should inspire you as well to go get after whatever your dreams are. And if you already are, then good job to you. May 2026 bless us both with more ideas, right? And the ability to create them. And then the fact that we have the mental peace to come up with ideas. I mean, I don't know, I'm grateful for all of that stuff. Like an idea machine, which is exhausting sometimes, but also it's really, really gratifying, you know? It even feels like I'm helping people sometimes, you know? Putting out the pack, inspiring people. So it feels pretty good, all right? It's been a good year, I guess. A good day, at least. Of course, also super grateful for the Barely Default data pack. It's a new project in the Barely Default universe, which, I mean, the Barely Default universe used to just be Barely Default. So now we have the data pack. It recently passed 3,000 downloads. I love the data pack. It is in such a beautiful state. And most of all, I just fucking love working with CYKLOPPS, the mad genius himself. He makes his own decisions on the data pack, and I love it. You know, he uses his own, he thinks along with me, you know, it's like 1 + 1 is like 4, or 3 is the expression, right? I wanted to give extra props, but yeah, grateful for the Barely Default data pack and CYKLOPPS too. And yeah, the stuff we're doing is so exciting. It's such a beautiful data pack, ready to get a lot of eyes. So, you know, 2026 could be the year of the Barely Default data pack. For me, it already is. I don't play Minecraft without it. It is so good. Grateful for the music that I made this year. You can barely call my music, but at least it's handwritten. It's not AI, and if it ever sounds bad, it's because I sound bad, and it's not because I generated a bad prompt. And I think that's something, you know, that's something to be like happy about in the age of AI. So I'm making music, which is much too late. I should have been doing this like 10 years ago. It could have been like the Minecraft music era. It would have been big then. But I'm more talking about like the age of AI. Like people could probably see me make songs and they'd be like, no way, this guy's making his own songs. But I do. And yeah, no, I did this year as well. And it is something I'm grateful for. I'm not musicians at all. I don't even think musicians is a word. So yeah, as someone who's not musicians at all, you know, growing up, having made a few songs, that's cool. You know, just, I don't know, being an artist, expressing myself, feels good. And of course, I'm grateful for the fans. Not just the number going up, right? 4,000 subscribers, 5,000 subscribers, but the individual people that I chat with, sometimes on a daily basis, that I met through YouTube, right? And I guess it makes sense. If you put out what you make, you're gonna attract people like you, right? Artists like me or whoever I've met on YouTube, fans as well, to the point where I'd feel uncomfortable calling them fans. I'd rather call them friends. It feels kind of weird to have someone who you just have a normal, equal, face-to-face dynamic with, and then suddenly I'm the idol, right? By them being fans. Like that's, because it feels weird because I've just met a lot of cool people through YouTube, all right? In my disc, sometimes not even in my disc. Next year it's gonna be fun too, you know, we have a lot of laughs. And that's all this great stuff, you know, like a lot of artists, they say that when they've made it big, then the most fun, thinking back, will have been getting there. And for me, you know, I mean, it's probably a lot of fun to be had when you get big, right? I reckon, but also, you know, it definitely feels like that already, you know? Moments when I'm just hanging out with chill people that I've met by putting myself out there, getting positive feedback on my art or even negative feedback, you know, I guess, I don't know, feedback is just nice, you're right? Like this thing that I think of sometimes, like the world is only as good as its audience, right? Like it works for a lot of stuff, like a joke. A joke is only as good as its audience. Like a joke just written on paper and that hasn't been told yet isn't good or bad. It'll depend on how it does in the culture, in society. Because when is something funny, it's completely subjective. So that means that it completely depends on the observer. And it is the same with art. in a bubble just sitting on my PC, it just wouldn't be the same. So yeah, grateful for all the feedback and the people I've been able to interact with. The playthroughs I've been able to affect, right? People might find Easter eggs or have funny moments happen because of the texture pack. Like, I love hearing about that sort of stuff, and that is a true fruit of the labor, right? You put out a pack that I hope inspires people and makes the game more fun for them, more immersive. And if that happens, that is just a beautiful thing that I wouldn't have had if I didn't have my projects. So Happy New Year and happy holidays. Feel free to join the Discord. There will be some invites, probably somewhere. You'll find them. And if not, you can DM me. Yeah, thanks for watching. Long ass vlog at the end. But thought we could do it. Oh, you watched anyways. So, and I guess I'll see you in 2026. Love you guys. Bye-bye.